Welcome everyone. We are the Wednesday 14 to 17 Group 4 of International Business and Management module. My name is Juan.
I'm Pronis.
I'm Shaojun.
I'm Qian.
I'm Ernest.
I'm Huichun.
In the following presentation, we will aim to explain some of the entry strategies commonly used by companies to enter other markets, with thorough examples that show cases of success and, of course, failure.
As well, we shall make the viewer understand the international human resource strategies to manage staff abroad in any case of expanding to a foreign market.
The purpose of this is to discover if certain entry strategies call for a certain staffing method, if so, why, and if not, why not. This will lead us to expose our findings and recommendations about this research.
Join us on this marvelous adventure as we go along these exciting business strategies and hopefully teach you something you didn't already know.
To enter a new market, a company must assume the challenge of not only understanding a different culture, but also to execute a strategy that can assure that their product will be accepted by their foreign consumers. These are called entry strategies. What are entry strategies, you might ask?
Market entry strategy is the way in which a company decides to establish their brand and sells their products in foreign market. In this presentation, we will limit ourselves to talking about three strategies: joint venture, franchising, and exporting.
Joint venture is an operational sharing method where equity ownership consists of two or more parties. This concept is based on a binding contract where knowledge and resources are combined.
Now, talking about the advantages, one of which is risk is shared among the various parties involved, and so are the rewards. They can access the foreign market quickly through the local knowledge and also promote synergy as a third firm is created by partnership. However, joint venture has its disadvantages as well, one of which is difference in culture can be a source of strain to joint venture. Also, the problem of control can arise as to who controls what.
Airbus, the airplane manufacturer, is a perfect example of a joint venture. Airbus was formed in 1970 by 4 leading manufacturers in France, Germany, Spain, and the United Kingdom. And at that time, in order to compete against the biggest airplane industry, the US companies, these European companies chose to cooperate together and join their core competencies in order to design, produce, and sell aircrafts. The success of the joint venture was due to division of labor. The French took over the aircraft electronics and cockpit design. The British used their knowledge of wing manufacturing to make the wings. The Germans focused on making fuselages, and the Spanish took charge of aircraft tails. Finally, this synergy reshaped the European aircraft market and created an opportunity to unite the companies and nations instead of fighting against each other.
An unsuccessful case of joint venture is the case of Daimler-Chrysler. They failed due to the differences in corporate culture. While the Germans were used to long meetings and unjustified expenses in their luxury lifestyle, the Americans were more about being efficient and not having to spend too much in hotels and expensive client meetings. This made the partners' relationship a nightmare and caused the failure of this venture.
Franchising is an arrangement where the franchisor grants the franchisee the right to use its trademark as well as certain business system and process the produce and market goods and services.
Advantages of franchising: it saves costs of having to open new locations because franchises do that with their own capital. Also, it guarantees faster growth and spread of the franchise and lower the risks of failure in terms of capital because franchisees tend to open up shop in the area they are most conversant with. Disadvantages of franchising: it is difficult for the franchisee to change the existing imperial model to meet the constantly changing need of market and policies. Also, the various franchises could become competition for each other.
Dunkin' Donuts has a strong reputation that is strong brand awareness, which attracted more franchisees. Dunkin' Donuts provided strong support for franchisees through training programs, advisory council, and free access to marketing tools. McDonald's restaurant is one of the biggest franchises in the world with over 30,000 outlets worldwide and about 1,200 outlets in the UK alone, of which 600 of them are franchises and employ about 84,000 people and more than 1 million people worldwide. This success was due to Ray Kroc, the man who took the McDonald's brothers business and made it into a multi-billion-dollar industry. He was the first to own a McDonald's franchise, but in the beginning he was barely breaking even due to the contract he had with the McDonald's brothers. Meanwhile, the McDonald's brothers were getting paid a lot by practically doing nothing. This gave Ray Kroc a better idea, which was to own the lands in which he put the franchises, and then he could charge the McDonald's brothers only by being there, regardless of if any McDonald's restaurant in his lands made any profit or not. His success was unprecedented, and he quickly became the company owner and not only buying out the McDonald's brothers, but also he was the main distributor of food in general in the whole US. On the other hand, Krispy Kreme was overambitious about their growth by having too many franchisees in close proximity with each other. They also had too many products on offer and therefore made it difficult for their customers to get in touch with their core products. Franchisees were also compelled to buy equipment at exorbitant rates, something Dunkin' Donuts have never done. Apparently, these are just a few reasons why Dunkin' Donuts succeeded and Krispy Kreme didn't.
Exporting involves the making of products in one country and the shipping them for sales in another country. There are two types of exporting: direct exporting and indirect exporting.
What is direct exporting? This occurs when a company makes a product in one country and ships it for sale in another country without the aid of an intermediary. What is the advantage of direct exporting? It saves costs on overseas facilities, minimizes risk and investment while gaining fast entry, possibility to sell excess production capacity, facilitates obtaining information about foreign competitors, stabilizes seasonal market fluctuations, reduces dependence on existing markets. What are its disadvantages? It can be more expensive due to high tariffs, marketing expenses, and logistics. It can be difficult to coordinate the cooperation of exporter, importer, logistics, and government policies. There is limited access to local market intelligence, and the company will probably be viewed as a foreign one, and this can make gaining the trust of locals more difficult.
Indirect export is a process when company exports the goods through an exporting company agent to avoid the hassle and high cost of exporting the product. This gives the company less risk because you don't have to assume exporting costs. However, it gives them no control over the final product. Talking about the advantages, it is easier to identify consumer market, uncovering new opportunities and market for the product, to translate and act as interpreter in business dealings, and assisting with local travel or living arrangements. It also provides arrangement on local government regulations, and not assuming the risk of market and exporting tariff is a huge plus point for indirect export. However, working for numerous business is truly a work for buyer, not the seller, which is a major disadvantages. Also, using intermediaries finally does not give you as much profit as direct export does, and you lose control over your final product in the long run.
Cederhorn Coal is the second largest open-sky coal mine in the world, and they mine over 30 million tons of coal a year. Also, they have been a very good exporting example for over 30 years. They manage their exports by having a sub-company that is in charge of marketing, closing the deals, and finding new clients for the business.
Fiat, the Italian car company, failed in their exporting due to improper market investigations. They exporting small cars when the Chinese preferred bigger cars, and so they failed. So bad market research can cause exporting failure.
There are various methods a multinational company can use to staff its foreign operations, and these are called international human resource strategies.
An international human resource strategy refers to the way in which you manage your team abroad. It is a staffing method used for cross-cultural management, and there are three strategies: isocentrism, polycentrism and geocentrism.
Basically, the ethnocentric method consists on employing locals for top management positions.
Advantages of ethnocentric strategy. It guarantees perfect alignment with global objectives. It enables easy communication between headquarters and subsidiary because there is no language barrier. Expatriates speak the same language as headquarter executives. Core competencies are easily transferred to local branches through this medium. Disadvantages of ethnocentric strategy. A company might lose out on local insights that local managers can identify that will help solve local challenges. Staffing expatriates can be very costly. Too much expatriates in a foreign subsidiary can cause demoralization in the host country nationals who begin to question their future in the organization. A good case of ethnocentric strategy is the case with Wipro Technology, the Indian firm which employs over 53,000 people in about 35 countries where they have their operations, in which more than 10,000 of these are expatriates. And over 89% of these expats are Indians, according to Daniels et al. Wipro operates in this manner, posting Indian managers globally to foster business development and transfer skills by training to locals in the host country operations. And this is done in order to disperse the Wipro way worldwide.
Simply put, a polycentric staffing method employs host country nationals for top managing position. This method is normally used to leverage the knowledge of the foreign market.
The advantages of polycentric strategy is that by hiring locally, an MNC can take advantage of the knowledge and understanding of the cultural norms and practices through the locals. Also, hiring locally removes the high expense of staffing expats. Staffing locally demonstrates to the host country and its nationals that the MNC is committed to its welfare. However, the disadvantages include that there may be some misunderstanding or misconceptions between the home and the host country due to the language barrier. Finally, because there is little or no room for expatriates, there is hardly any global training, and this can cause ambitious locals to quit and move to the competition.
Microsoft is a company that uses the polycentric staffing module because whenever it is carried out an operation outside the US, it employs locals, reasoning that they have a better understanding of the area.
Basically, geocentrism is the staffing method a company uses to employ the best talent regardless of their nationality.
The advantages of running a geocentric IHRM style is that a multinational company always has the best talent for the job. That is, it's leverage on the pool of talent within it. Also, a geocentric style encourages new learning and experiences and helps in knowledge diffusion and growth throughout the multinational company. Now, talking about the disadvantages. It is costly to move people from one location to another, and a multinational company has to consider the immigration cost. Also, a star expat of the company coming to a local division can demotivate locals, as this might create doubt in their mind as to the career progressions in the company. This in turn can affect our work efficiency and the ultimate goal defense.
A firm that uses the geocentric approaches is Google. Google has about 70 branches in 40 countries and employs people from all around the world, regardless of their nationality, according to Google Career.
Now, after thorough research, it became apparent that the success of any foreign venture is not only dependent on the entry strategy used, because no entry strategy is superior to the other, neither is it totally dependent on an IHR strategy. Although they play a key role, no international human resource strategy is better than the other. Therefore, we realize that to a great extent, the success of any entry strategy, be it in joint venture, franchising or exporting, is dependent on the management implementing these strategies. Like in the case of Daimler Chrysler, it is cultural misunderstanding that brought about its failure, and not because joint venture is a bad entry strategy. Same thing applies to Krispy Kreme and Fiat. So we recommend that before any foreign venture or partnership is embarked upon, a thorough research should be carried out on the intending partner and market, and a mutual understanding should be reached between the parties involved to avoid any future hassle and disappointment.
Well, we hope you have enjoyed this journey through these fascinating business strategies, and also we hope we have taught you something in a fun manner. Expect more from us and see you next time in this magical world of business.
Thank you!